Last week, we dealt with the unit number 4 and 5, which deals with the VAT in the main, business documents, and cash receipts, cash payments journal, and petty cash journal, of which today we'll quickly redo the VAT revision because that's what is going to be examined in the main in the next assessment. And I will show you how the accounts work, the general ledger accounts that relates to VAT. I'll quickly show you with 2 transactions or so, and I will also we'll also do the cash receipts, cash payment journal, and petty cash journal. But those ones, they are not going to be examined in the next assessment. However, and they are also very easy to do. So I will quickly show you how they work and show you 1 or 2 tricks. Then we'll be done. I believe today we should be done before time. We'll do this very quick. Only if someone gets lost or does not agree with whatever that I have done, please raise your hand so that we can unlock your challenge. The first transaction, the transaction number 2, it says Miss, or maybe let me start with transaction number. Transaction number 1, it says Miss Betty Sitole decided to open a cleaning company called BS Cleaners and deposited 100,000 to the newly opened Standard Bank business account. Here, when we talk VAT, there are transactions that do not attract VAT. In the main, in the legislation, they are listed in Section 10 and Section 11 of VAT Act. In the main, the zero-rated, something like your brown bread, your education, and many other things, and exempted, something like your educational services, your financial services, etc., etc. They don't attract VAT, and there will not be VAT on those kind of transactions. But here, since you are not being examined on zero-rated and exempt supply on VAT, we will tell you whether there is VAT or there is no VAT on that particular transaction. Or let me put it this way, whether VAT is affected and or not affected on that particular transaction, we will tell you that. And if we say nothing about the transaction, just assume that there is no VAT on that particular transaction. Only when there is VAT, we'll tell you VAT is inclusive or not inclusive, or whatever that we say about VAT. So the first transaction is one of those. It does not have VAT implication. So meaning for VAT purposes, we'll jump it. Transaction number 2, it says Ms. Tole bought a cleaning machine for 30,000 rands, excluding VAT, using an EFT payment. So there is VAT consequence that needs to be considered on this particular transaction. And 30,000 rands, they say it exclude VAT. VAT on that 30,000 rands could be 30,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 100, which becomes 4,500. Then, and we are buying. When we are buying, it's VAT in VAT input. We are buying, which is VAT input. And we said VAT input is an asset account, and we said it increased on the debit side. So 4,500, we'll list it there. If anyone get lost or does not agree with any of the things that I'm going to be typing here, just raise your hand. I will be able to see you so that we can discuss where you're getting stuck. The next transaction is transaction number 3, which says TUT students brought their laundry to BS Cleaners and paid 5,000 rands, inclusive of VAT, cash for the washing of their clothes. So these people, they have here we are rendering a service, a cleaning services. We're rendering a cleaning services, and when we are rendering a cleaning service, or when we are selling something, it's a VAT output, and 5,000 rands includes VAT, meaning we'll say 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 115, which becomes 562. We'll ignore the cents for now on VAT output. And output is a liability account which increases on the credit side, meaning we're going to put that 562 there. I mean 652 there.
Firstly, I would like to apologize. I was not here on Saturday on our meeting, so I am completely lost, sir.
Hey, Tavo, we'll help you very, 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 very quick.
Okay.
But did you go through the material?
Unfortunately not, sir.
That's very dangerous, Tavo. This is a continuous assessment module, which requires you to almost work according to the program and with the program, because the assessments, and from assessment 2 onwards, they are very, very, very close. Almost every second or third week, there will be an assessment, and that assessment will determine whether you repeat the module next year or not. However, let's try to catch you up, Tabo. Last week, what we have done, we have agreed on the following, Tabo, that 3 questions that we need to ask ourselves when we're dealing with the VAT transaction. One, whether are we selling goods and or services, or are we buying goods and or services? And we've agreed that when we are selling goods and or services, those transactions will go to VAT input. Sorry, when we are selling goods and services, those transactions will go to VAT output. And when we are buying goods and or services, those transactions will go to VAT input account. That is the main thing. That's what we have just done there. That's one. Two, you ask yourself, is the amount that you're dealing with, that you have been given, does it include or exclude VAT? If that amount, like transaction number 2, does not exclude VAT, the fraction that you're going to use, you're going to take it, when you calculate VAT, take it multiplied by 15 divided by 100. If the amount that includes VAT, like transaction number 3, the 5,000 rands, the fraction that you're going to use, you're going to say multiply by 15 divided by 115. I think those are the key questions and or key principles that you have missed last week and at the time. I will advise that you also go and try and watch the video in and between during the week, so that you can catch up. The link is available on the chat. If you scroll up and look at last week's things, you will be able to see it and try to catch up, because the assessment is coming. We'll talk about the assessment later on. So we're on transaction number 3. We have just recorded it on output VAT, or it's VAT output, and we're not writing other details. Chances are very slim that you will be requested to do a VAT tier accounts. However, if you are requested, please don't forget to write the dates and what many other things. For the sake of time, I'm not writing those. I will just list the amounts that are affected accordingly. So that was transaction number 3, and transaction number 4. It says BS cleaners. Tabo, please unmute your mouth so that you can take us through this one. It says BS cleaners bought a delivery baggie for 20,000 rands excluding VAT. Tabo, did you buy or are we selling here?
So, sir, we are buying there.
So when we are buying, we said, do we use VAT input or VAT output?
We are using VAT output.
No. When we are buying, we're using VAT input. When we are buying, we use. The reasoning is because the amount that we pay, I mean, the amount that we pay for VAT here, we claim it back from SARS, which becomes an input to our business. So VAT input when we are buying. And 20,000 rands, does it include or exclude VAT?
It excludes VAT.
And we said when it excludes VAT, what fraction do we use? We say 20,000 times what?
20 times 15 divided by 115.
That's correct. And if you have a calculator there, how much is our VAT?
It says we have 2,608 rands and 70 cents.
Okay, we'll swallow cents for now. So we'll make it 609. Okay. Thank you so much for that. That was transaction number 4. Let's move to transaction number 5. It says Ms. Bustutel has been utilizing her sister to assist her in cleaning services. And she paid salary of 4,000 rands for her effort. Did we say anything about VAT here in that tab?
We did not mention anything about VAT here.
So meaning no VAT effect, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's move to transaction number 6. Transaction number 6, it says BS Cleaners won a tender to clean Madibeng municipality offices for 500 rands per hour, excluding VAT. Madibeng municipality only pays service provider accounts once a month at the end of the month. BS Cleaners clean Madibeng for 10 hours in the month of January 2015. Are we buying and or selling here, Dr. Tabo?
We are selling a service.
We're selling a service. That means VAT input or VAT output?
It means VAT output.
VAT output, that is correct. Does the amount include or exclude VAT?
The amount excludes VAT.
When it excludes VAT, what fraction do we use to calculate the VAT amount? It's the amount times what? Times 15 divided by
15
what?
divided by 115.
No, when it excludes VAT, it means it does not have SARS money. The reasoning is that when you say divide by 115, you are saying, remember in mathematics in Tadetabo, every amount is, every number is over 1. And when we're saying 15 divided by 100, we're saying that amount 100% it's ours. And when we say 115, we're saying out of that amount there is portion which belongs to SARS, which is the VAT amount. That's what we're saying divided by 115. We're saying it's already included in there. We're trying to take it out. So this one it excludes VAT. So it means we will use the divide by 100 because it excludes VAT. So we'll say 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 100. How much are you getting there? 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 100.
I'm getting 750 rand.
Okay.
750 rand. That is correct. 750. That's what I got as well. And then let's move over to the next transaction, which will be transaction number number 7A. Tab. Mrs. Tole withdrawn 5,000 rands from the bank account and keep the cash on the cash float box to replenish petty cash. Did we say anything about VAT here?
No, we did not mention anything.
It means there are no VAT effect on these transactions. So meaning we'll jump it. Transaction number 7, it says Ms. B.S. Tutole bought stationery for 2,000 rand from Wonga Ltd on credit, including VAT. There is VAT here, right?
Yes,
and
VAT.
are we buying or are we selling something here?
We are buying.
And when we are buying, do we use VAT input or VAT output?
We use VAT input.
VAT input, that is correct. And 2,000 rands includes VAT. What fraction are we using? Are we saying 2,000 times 15 divided by 115 or divided by 100?
We are saying divide by 115.
Because it includes VAT.
It includes VAT.
Yes. So 2,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 115. How much do you get there?
I'm getting 200. I'm getting 260 rands and 87 cents. Which means we are getting 261 rands.
Yes, we're swallowing cents just for today. Okay, that was transaction number 7. Let's move to transaction number 8. BS Cleaners paid 2,000 to buy cars, payment of the installment is 1,005 and interest is 500. Did we say anything about VAT here?
No, here we did not mention any
No
VAT.
VAT. This is a very good transaction of financial services. This is financial services which is exempted from VAT and no VAT. Let's move to the next one. Transaction number 9, we're saying Madibeng municipality paid 3,000 to BS cleaners invoice on services rendered. Did we say anything about VAT here?
No, we did. When we excluded
No
VAT.
VAT. This is also financial services because they are paying the invoice. Transaction has already happened on the 15th up there and already recorded it. Standard Bank paid 7,000 interest to BS cleaners. Did we say anything about VAT here?
Here we did not mention anything about
This
VAT.
is also financial services when we are earning interest,
Yes.
so it does not have VAT impact. And this one we have debated it in your absence. I will
Yes.
be very interested
This
to
is
hear
new.
what I feel. Miss B Sitole bought a Daily Sun newspaper for customers to read while waiting for their laundry. The newspaper was bought from the salesman in the street corner for cash from the petty cash box. The corner street salesman is not registered for VAT. So my question to you is,
we do not pay for VAT because he's not registered for VAT.
yes, that is correct. However, the explanation which I also gave last time is that that is not very straightforward item. That is not a very straightforward item because later on when you do third level, there is something called notional tax, which when you are buying second hand goods, qualifying goods from an unregistered person, you will then be required to determine the VAT portion on that. But you will learn that when you do your third level accordingly. It's done on the third level. For now, let's keep it straightforward the way in which it is. So then we're done with our VAT transactions. So what we're going to do is to calculate the totals of these two accounts. So before I go too far, because our syllabus ends somewhere here. Before I go too far, if you are still getting lost with debit and credit and whatnot, feel free to just make a list somewhere on the paper or on the page and list these amounts to say how much is VAT output and how much is VAT input. What we'll pay to SARS or what SARS will owe us is the difference between the two. So meaning what the total output VAT, which is 1,400, and the total minus the total input VAT, which is 7,300. The difference becomes what SARS owes us or what we owe to SARS, of which that will be how much? It will be 7,370 minus 1,402. That will be 5,968. That will be what we owe SARS. I'm saying what we owe SARS because the VAT input is bigger than VAT output. VAT output is what where we will claim back from SARS, and VAT input, sorry, it's the other way around. VAT output is what SARS will. What am I saying?
So
the VAT output is what we will pay to SARS.
Thank you, Mr. MGS. VAT output, what we will pay to SARS, and VAT input, what we will claim from SARS. Yeah, that is the right English. What we will claim from SARS and what we will pay to SARS. So what we will claim is, is lesser than what will sorry, what we will claim is more than what we will claim is more than what we will owe, then it means we're going to claim this 5,968. I heard someone saying, sir, or was it a wrongly unmuted person?
Good evening, sir. Can you please repeat what you just said about the VAT input and VAT output?
VAT output is what we will owe SARS, and VAT input is what SARS will owe us. So what we owe SARS is 1,400, and what SARS will owe us is 7,300. It means what SARS owe us is more than what we owe SARS. Then it means SARS will pay us back the difference, which is 5,968. So accounting wise, we're going to do it. To do it now. Remember how to close the accounts. You look at the debit side and the credit side and see which side is bigger than the other. Here, the credit side is bigger than the debit side. So meaning our total is going to be 1,400. And here, this side, 0 minus 1,400, it's 1,400. This amount is called, it goes to VAT control account. And on VAT control account, debit to an account is a credit to another account. This is going to go to the credit side and be called be called output VAT. The very same here. Debit side and credit side, which side is bigger? The 0, 7,000 is bigger than 0. So meaning the total in both sides is going to be 7,000. And yes. 7,000 minus 0 is 7,000, which we're going to put it there. And this will be called VAT control account. And on the VAT control account, remember, a debit to an account is a credit to another account, meaning we'll have output input VAT there. Then we have to balance the VAT control account as well. Debit side and credit side will compare which one is bigger. Debit side is bigger than credit. 7,000 is bigger than 1,400, meaning the total is that 7,000 on both sides. And 7,000 minus 1,000, it becomes 5,000. And this is what we call it SARS data or credit. But here it's going to be SARS data's account. And then a debit to an account is a credit to another account. It means on the SARS account, we're going to have that amount, which will be VAT control account. We can balance this one as well, but there could be other transactions that come in here. If we have income tax as an example, foreign, what do they call them? Forex tax, it has a name, sin tax, and many other taxes that the company might be having. They will all come and fall inside here. When we are done with all of them, we'll then balance it. So here, because we only have VAT, we'll use the same amount as the balance. And this is a data's account or an asset account is going to have the balance carried down. Balance carried forward which next year or next month is going to be a balance brought down of the same amount. More or less, this is how it looks. However, you don't have to, if you're not good with debiting and crediting, you don't have to go all the way trying to do what I've done. It is good enough that just to make a list of those VAT input and VAT output transactions. And when you are done, you calculate the totals. The other total minus the other total is what you owe to SARS or what SARS owe you. If you are owing SARS, it means that is a liability. And if SARS owes you, it means that is an asset. More or less, that's how it looks. I know we went very fast, but since we have already done the tier accounts, I believe we should have an idea of what is happening. But for your purpose, it's good enough just to know how to calculate VAT on amounts. When VAT is included on the amount that you are given, multiplied by 15 divided by 115. If VAT is not included, multiplied by 15 divided by 100. Then you are done.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Let's move over to. I have to show you. I've noticed this is not in your syllabus, but it's important that you understand the big picture of what is happening when there are VAT transactions like that. We'll only do two transactions quickly. The transaction number 2 and transaction number 3, or maybe we'll jump 3. We'll do transaction number. Transaction number 3 is good enough. We'll do transaction number 2 and transaction number 3 so that we can see the integration of other accounts other than the VAT, because what we've just done now, we've just done the VAT part of it, of which, remember, there are other accounts that are affected by that transaction as well. So we'll just quickly do them. I will just open a new sheet here and call it TR3. And the other one we'll call it TR4, which will use it quickly so that you can see. Sorry, it's TR2 and TR3. They look better now. Okay, I'll just delete the names and whatever figures that are inside so that we don't get confused. We'll juggle between the two sheets when we want to refer to VAT transactions. We've already done this, but for the purposes of completeness, I want you to see the bigger picture. What we've done on unit number 2 and unit number 3, when there is a transaction which says on 2 January 2023, Ms. Tolle bought a cleaning machine for 30,000, excluding VAT, using EFT payments to the supplier. Two accounts that are affected. One, we have bought a cleaning machine, meaning it's a machinery, which is an asset account. And 2 is because we bought it cash, is the bank account, which is also affected. The bank account, which is also affected because we bought cash, and the amounts we bought it for 30,000. But remember, this 30,000 does not include VAT. It means on VAT account we've already calculated. We said 30,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 115, and we got we got where is the first transactions? We got 4,500 rands VAT. Ideally, on the bank account, it means what we will pay to the supplier is 30,000 and 4,500, which makes it 34,500. What we will pay to the supplier. So meaning, what we're going to credit bank is going to be 30,000 for the machine and 4,500 for the VAT, or 34,500. That's what will be paid to the supplier that we're buying these goods from, which will be 34,500. This is for machine, and this is for VAT. And it means on the machinery, we have agreed that machinery is an asset account, and asset account increase on the debit side. On the machinery, you're going to have that 30,000. We've already done this before, just repeating for completeness, so that you can see where VAT fits into the bigger picture. You're going to have that 30,000 in the machinery. And the VAT one is going to VAT input. We have just done it now, which is this amount here. This amount here of 4,500. That's what I wanted to show you on transaction 2. Let's quickly do the same for transaction number 3, so that you can see the bigger picture. Transaction number 3, I will copy it. I will delete what we've written for the previous transaction so that it doesn't confuse us. Transaction number 3, it says TU2 students brought their laundry to BS cleaners and paid 5,000 rands cash including VAT. 2 accounts that are affected, one bank or a petty cash account. The second one is services rendered. Or cleaning services. They say 5,000 rands including VAT. So meaning, how much did we receive from these guys who have received 5,000 rands? So meaning, what is going to be debited is 5,000 rands that we have received. But remember, these 5,000 rands include VAT inside. You can separate it, or you can put it as 5,000 rands. It's still fine. In the previous transaction, the two amounts were separated. The 30,000 and 4,500 were separated. You can separate it, or you can put it you can leave it together as the 5,000 rand that we have received on that particular day, which is 5,000 rands. And we said VAT on this amount. We said VAT output. We said VAT is 652 rands when we were calculating it earlier on today. So in other words, you can also say 5,000 rands minus 652. This is for service rendered. And there is VAT for 652. It still goes back to 5,000 rands. And when you are given 5,000 rands, in order to calculate this 4,348, you can say 5,000 minus 652, or you can say 5,000 multiplied by 100 divided by 115. But I prefer 5,000 minus 652. You can still do the fraction if you understand the mathematics juggles better. And on services rendered, we're going to have the 432. In the past, before we learned VAT, what was happening was that we're taking 5,000 SEs to services rendered. But what the main thing which I wanted to show you is that what is going to services rendered, it's amount excluding VAT. This goes to anything that we are buying. What goes to income and expenses, it's amount excluding VAT. And if the amount is 5,000 rands like this, including VAT, you are required to calculate what is the amount excluding VAT. And on services rendered, assets and expenses, I mean income, assets and expenses, you have to exclude VAT on the amount that is going to the GL accounts. That's what I wanted to show you quickly so that you can see the big picture as to where does VAT fit in on this big scenario, instead of just memorizing how to calculate it and the input and output without seeing where does it fit in on the big picture on the general ledger accounts. Is there anyone with any question so far on where we are before we move to the next section? Let's move on. The next section is not it's not examinable in the assessment that we're going to write during the week or towards the end of the week. However, it will be examinable on the next one. And what I like about it is that this is the easiest part of accounting. It's very simple and straightforward. So 3 things that we're going to learn today: cash receipts journal, cash payments journal, and petty cash journal. I will tell you what do they all do. Cash receipts journal, it's where we record all the cash that we have received, go to the cash receipts journal. And cash payments journal, all cash that we have paid go to the cash payments journal. Petty cash, these are small amounts that would have kept in our petty cash box. Most companies have a petty cash box which they use if they want to buy a newspaper. They use that petty cash, and if transaction or amount is going to a petty cash box, will tell you that this is a small amount which is going to go to the petty cash box. And don't be confused. Sometimes petty cash can be a little bit complicated depending on the organization that you deal with, but don't be confused. For the purposes of this module, we assume that there is one person who keeps that box, which is called the petty cash box, and the amounts are kept inside there. And when someone brings the amount, or when the petty cash gets replenished, the amount will be taken and be put inside the box. And when we are buying something, the amounts will be taken out of that box and be used to pay for whatever item that we are paying, and be recorded as a payment on the petty cash journal. And I know in other organizations, petty cash can be complex in a way that sometimes you will hear people talking about cash float. Cash float, it's more or less similar to petty cash, and we can simplify it and call it is the same thing. The difference is that sometimes in other organizations, instead of one person who keeps petty cash, we'll have many people who keep cash. And in some organizations, like for example, the Auditor General, you will find that almost each and every employee can have their own petty cash that they use and reconcile at the end. Other organizations, what they do, they allow each and every manager, if there is a production manager, the production manager will have his own petty cash box and his petty cash that he uses for his department. If there is a sales manager will have his own petty cash box and petty cash that they use. So it means on that organization, the only difference to what we will do now is that instead of just having one petty cash journal, we're going to have a number of them that are being kept by different people. Sometimes they can even consolidate and have one big petty cash journal and have subsidiary accounts linked to the big one with the names of people to say Mr. Maposa's petty cash, Mr. MGS petty cash, Mrs. Nyasha's petty cash, but they all reconcile back to the one big petty cash account. And in retail, you might notice that the tellers, the cashiers or the tellers, the cashiers are having their own small line box there where you give a cash when you are paying, and that small line box can also be called cash float at times, which nowadays the organization are getting very complex. It can also work as a petty cash as well. When you are withdrawing cash from the cashier, then she will record the cash out. In the past, you will barely or rarely have a cashier issuing cash to anyone or paying anyone. Her duty will be, his or her duty will be receiving cash from customers, receiving cash. But nowadays, you can withdraw there. She will give you. So how they set up those POS accounts for the cashiers, very, very similar and or same to what happens on the petty cash journal. So if you happen to work in that environment, just think about petty cash when you're dealing with cash float. It's just that on cash float, there will be more than one person who keeps the cash and who can both receive and issue cash at the same time. There is one transaction which kind of touches on something like that so that you will have an idea. So I hope we'll be able to do all the transactions, but if we get to 6:45 before we finish all the transactions, we will pause, but you will be able to see that these transactions are much more easier. And we've already calculated VAT and many other things. We're not going to repeat them. We'll just take the amounts that we've already calculated in that regard and use them. So that is cash receipts journal, cash payments journal, and petty cash. So what we will do, we will go back to our transactions and look at all those transactions. Starting with the first one, Ms. Bessie Sitole decided to open a cleaning company called BS Cleaners and deposited 100,000 to the newly opened Standard Bank business account. I want someone to tell us, one, whether did we receive money here or did we pay money, and also tell us if we're using cash receipts journal, cash payments journal, or petty cash journal, and why.
I think we will use a cash receipt journal because this looks like it's capital, if I'm not mistaken.
The proper reasoning is that we have received the money, and the money that we have received goes to the cash receipts journal, right?
Yes.
Thank you. And it's 100,000 and there is no VAT. So meaning on cash receipts journal, please, and unfortunately, I don't know if I wrote the page number. I should have written the, yes. Please. Cash receipts journal template is on page number 127 of your study guide. Just take 2 minutes and have a look at it. Try to figure out what columns you have there and what not, so that you don't get confused if you have to do it one day. So cash receipts journal, it was on 1 January. So document number is transaction number 1, and it was on 1 January 2023. And this is the cash from Miss B.S. Tolle. And folio is the same, transaction number 1. And analysis of receipts, this is where we put how much we've received, which is we said it's 100,000, and how much goes to the bank is the same 100,000. And this was for capital. Up here, there is no prescription as to what columns do you put after bank, between bank and VAT. You can have services rendered, stationary, what, depending on what transactions you have, of which if you were to draw the cash receipts journal, my advice to you will be that you just scan through your transactions that are given and try to figure out if there is any account which is having repetitive transactions. Then you should have it up here, but it's not a sin, meaning you're not going to be penalized if you don't have it up here. And try to have as little accounts as possible, so that your cash receipts journal, if you are writing it, it can fit in on an A4 paper. Because later on, remember, when you are writing these things, you would be writing on an A4 page. Even if you are going to do it PDF, it has to fit on an A4 page. So as little as possible, And this 100,000 is for capital. Because capital column is not available here, we are going to jump to sorry, I made a mistake by putting this on the wrong first column, which is still having headings. I'm just moving to the bottom one. We're going to jump to the sundry column and have it there. And we write that this is capital. And if you look, the two GL accounts that are affected, it's bank and capital that we're writing here. And this money was paid by Ms. Tolle, and it's 100,000. So nothing really fancy, nothing really complicated. It's just what it is. And we're done with the first transaction. Transaction number 2, it says Ms. Bisitole bought a cleaning machine for 30,000 rands, excluding VAT, using an EFT payment to the supplier. Who wants to tell us whether it's cash receipts, cash payment journal, and why? Let's see by the raise of hands. Pashok.
It's cash payment journal.
Why is it cash payment
Because
journal?
we are paying, like money is getting out of our bank.
Yes, we are paying and money is getting out of our bank. That's cash payment journal. So meaning we'll go to our cash payments journal and we'll do the same. I'm not going to repeat so many things, but we have bought the machinery. We're not told what is the name of the supplier. We're going to write the name of the supplier there, and they said it's 30,000, and 30,000 rands does not include VAT. Remember, we've already calculated its VAT as 2,609. So the VAT amount, sorry, the VAT amount is 2,609, and the amount which will go to the machinery is 30,000, and then it will be called machinery. and amount which will go to the bank. In the bank, we're going to pay the VAT amount plus the amount which is going to the machinery. So meaning we're going to pay 32,609. So what do we pay to the bank, or what we owe the creditors, etc., etc. It's always the amount, the two amounts, the amount that we would have paid for, I mean the amount that we would have been charged for an item, and the amount that will be for the VAT, which will go to SARS. Mr. Andre Johan Botha.
Sir, that machine, is that not equipment? Do we not record it in the equipment column?
Either way.
Because you've got the column there.
I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. Okay, but we'll have consistency issues. But for now, I think let's agree equipment, machinery is the same thing. I think we've written machinery somewhere. Machinery equipment is the same thing for now. Deborah?
I wanted to ask on the VAT input of 2,609. How did we get the 2,609?
How did we get the 2,609? Deborah. Is there anyone who wants to assist our Deborah here? She's having a question as to, now I'm messing up this thing, but Deborah is having a question on how did we get the 2,609? Anyone to help Deborah, please raise up your hand. I think Deborah is right. We took the wrong amount. The right amount is 4,500, not 2,000, not 2,600. The correct amount for our transaction it's 4,500, not that one. We took the wrong amount from the VAT side. Thanks for that, Deborah. What was it? Who was talking? What was your explanation? Whoever was talking.
So I want the transaction, because I also can't remember what it should be.
Okay, sorry. Thanks for that, Deborah. But Deborah, do you understand 4,500? We were querying the principal, you're not querying the amount.
Yes, I do understand the 4,500 because it was calculated.
But you should have asked properly to say, hey, we are taking the wrong amount. The right one is 4,500, but it's okay. Okay, that is transaction number. Number 2. Transaction number 3, it says TUT students brought their laundry to BS cleaners and paid 5,000 rands, including VAT, cash for the washing machine. I mean, for the washing of their clothes. And this money was deposited into the petty cash box. Who wants to tell us cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, or the petty cash journal? Raise up your hand and tell us which one and why. Oh, no one. I must point someone now. Nyasha, please tell us. Oh, your hand just got up. It's like you knew that I was going to point at you. Yes, Nyasha.
Sir, before I try, can I ask the petty cash box? Does it belong to the students or to BS cleaners?
To BS cleaners. Remember,
And
students
we
are
doing
bringing money
for
BS cleaners.
Oh, that just got tough. I think it's the cash payment journal, since we are paying.
What are we paying here? We're saying the students brought their laundry and they have paid us 5,000 rands. It's students who are paying
so
us. We're not paying.
okay, okay. I understand now. So it must be the cash receipt journals.
Deborah, do you want to help Nyasha?
Sir, I think it's the cash receipts journal because they are buying from us, so we are receiving money from them.
I think it's the cash receipt journal, but it's going to petty cash.
Oh,
Neo Poshoko.
I'm not sure. I'm just trying my luck. I think it's petty cash because we received the money and it was deposited into our petty cash box.
I think it's a petty cash journal because it's deposited on the petty cash box.
And Ndate Tabo.
Also, although the money was deposited into the petty cash box, we have received the money as an income, so it belongs to the cash receipt journal.
Okay, thank you for that. I think you are all almost right, except Nyasha, who only talked about, she first talked about cash payment journal and she withdrawn and moved to cash receipts journal. So here, the trick is money that goes to the petty cash box. Money that goes to the petty cash box, it goes to the petty cash journal, and money that comes out of the petty cash box, it goes to the petty cash journal. Any other money, whether it goes to the bank straight or it goes to the cashier or whatever, if it's not mentioned that it's going to the petty cash box, let it go to the cash receipts journal and the cash payments journal and wherever, because the assumption is that all those other monies that go elsewhere other than in the petty cash box, it will be banked by the end of the day, etc., etc. I know in practice there is another leg or another layer which we're not talking about here, but let's just assume that we receive the money and it goes straight to them. So meaning this one, because it's specifically stated that it goes to the petty cash box, it will go to the petty cash journal at the bottom. So the 5,000 rands, and they say it includes VAT, it's coming here on the petty cash journal. And petty cash journal is slightly different to the other accounts. You will note that it's having the receipt side and the payment side. So the receipt side is monies that we have received, and the payment side is money that we have paid. The payment side, it looks exactly like cash payments journal. The receipt side is the one which is not having a lot of boxes, and I will tell you why. Mainly because this is the most difficult transaction, petty cash transaction you'll ever see, the one that we've just done now. Mainly because the receipt side, we usually draw money from the bank and deposit it to the petty cash box, which does not have that and any other accounts implication other than the bank and the petty cash account itself. So that transaction should come here, the 5,000 rands as the money that we've received. I will want us to jump, being sensitive of time, that if we get cut off in the middle, we do not get cut off with, oh no, I'm wrong, no, let's continue. I think I've put the transaction in the middle. So we're on transaction number 3. Let's go to transaction number 4, which says BS Cleaners bought a delivery buggy for 2,000 rands, excluding VAT on credit from We Buy Cars. Tavo, tell us please, will transaction number 4 where we bought Baki for on credit, will it go to cash receipt journal, cash payment journal, or petty cash journal? That Tavo.
It will go to it will go to the cash payment journal.
Why?
And why? Because we are buying the Baki for 20,000 rands.
But remember what we said? We said what goes to cash payment journals when we are paying.
Yes. Oh.
Paying and buying is not really the same. Eh? Nokulunga, you want to help Tavo?
I also thought it's the cash payments journal, since we are buying. That means when you buy, you pay. So.
But we have not paid as yet. We're just buying here. So yes. It is not going to the cash payment journal. Here we are buying on credit, colleagues. We are buying on credit. We are buying on credit. Credit is not cash. Credit is credit. So we do have another ledger account that we're going to deal with, I think, in the next class, the next Tuesday. Sales ledger and creditors ledger or whatever other subsidiary accounts that we're going to deal with. That's where it will be recorded, but none of this. These three, they purely record cash transactions. So meaning when we receive cash receipts journal. When we have paid cash payment journal. When we have paid from the box or received money in the box, petty cash journal. So we will jump this one. Let's go to the next one. Transaction number 5. Ms. Bistol has been utilizing a sister to assist her in cleaning services and paid her 4,000 rand salary. Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, petty cash journal. Anyone wants to tell us which one and why? Nokulunga Precious.
Wait, so I think it's a cash payment journal.
That is correct. We're paying, it goes to the cash payment journal. So meaning cash payment journal under salaries, their salaries, it's 5,000 rand. On a transaction, should be mentioned what is the name and many other things. We're going to write the dates, and remember we already said there is no VAT, and we gave reasons there, which will not repeat. So transaction number 6, BS Cleaner won a tender to clean Madibeng municipality offices. Municipality only pay the service providers accounts once a month at the end of the month. BS Cleaner cleaned Madibeng municipality offices for 10 hours. Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, or petty cash journal. Who wants to give it a try?
Let me try. I think it's a cash receipt journal because they are paying us 500 per hour.
But they've not yet paid here. Here we have just won a tender, and they're saying they will pay us by the end of the month. They will pay us 500 per. So it's similar to the other one. No cash as yet. Nyasha, you wanted to say something?
Can't we say it's the trade receivables account?
It's called sales journal, which will do in the next class, but none of the 3 accounts that we're dealing with today. Not cash receipts journal, not cash payment, and not petty cash, because there is no cash here as yet. Okay, let's move to transaction number 7A. It says, this one we've added in and between. It says Ms. Tolle withdrawn 5,000 rands from the bank account and keep the cash on the cash float box to replenish petty cash. Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, petty cash journal. Who wants to give it a try? Let's see by the raise of hands. Where are we going to record 5,000? Gugu.
I think it's the petty cash journal because she withdrew money and replenish the petty cash.
Yeah, but remember, she's withdrawing it from the bank. It's almost like paying money out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, but you are right on the other side. So it will go to two areas. On our cash payment, we're going to pay that that 5,000 rands and call it petty cash. And we're going to receive it on the, what is this? Petty cash ledger, so petty cash journal, 5,000 rands. That's all about that transaction. And the next one, transaction number 7, it says, it says BS Cleaners bought stationery for 2,000 rands from Wonga on credit. Cash receipts, cash payment journal, which one is affected here? Or petty cash? Let's see by the raise of hands. Andre Johan Buotha.
It's neither, sir, because it's on credit.
Thank you. Let's move to transaction number 8. It says BS Cleaners paid 2,000 rands to buy cars for the repayment of vehicle installment, and the installment consists of 1,500 rands the capital and 500 rands interest. Just remember there are this is 2-in-1 transactions. There is 1,500 for installment and there is 500 rands relating to the interest. Where does it go? Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, petty cash. Let's see by the raise of hands, those who want to tell us. Tabo.
Yes, sir. I believe that they are both going to the cash payment journal.
Perfect, Tabo. Cash payment journal. Cash payment journal. And it's 1,500 and 500 rands.
Yes.
And therefore the other one is 1,500 is for the trade payables, and the 500 rands is for the interest.
Yes.
That is correct. Thank you, Dr. Tabo. The next one, it says Madibeng municipality paid BS Cleaners invoice, 3,000 rands invoice for services rendered. Where does this one go? Madibeng paid us 3,000 rands. We have received cash, 3,000 rands. Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, petty cash journal. Who wants to tell us?
Madibeng municipality paid 3,000 rands
to BS Cleaners for cleaning services rendered. So we have received this 3,000 rand. Go on, Tade Tabo. What do you think? Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, or a petty cash journal?
Finally, we fill in the cash receipts journal because they have paid
3,000 rands, right?
Yes.
And remember, on cash receipts journal, 3,000 rands. It's for services rendered. So 3,000 rands and 3,000. Is 3,000 or 30,000? Sorry, it's 30,000.
It's 3,000
rand. 3,000, sorry.
3,000 rand.
3,000 and services rendered 3,000. And if services rendered was not one of the columns, we're going to put it under sundries and we're going to name it services rendered. But now because it's here, we'll just put it on the services. Of course, all those other things, days, blah, 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 you still need to put them through if you're doing the cash receipts journal. And the next one is Standard Bank paid 7,000 rands interest to BS Plus bank account. We've received 7,000 rands interest, cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, or cash journal. Who wants to give it a try? Tabo?
I'm sorry. It's cash receipts journal.
Yes, because we have received 7,000 rands, it will go to the cash receipts journal. It's for interest. So meaning we're receiving that 7,000 rands, and there is no interest column. We'll go to the sundries column and put the 7,000 rands and write that is for interest. And the next transaction, it says transaction number 11, MIPS Bisitole bought a Daily Sun newspaper for customers to read while waiting for their laundry. The newspaper was bought from a salesman in the street corner for cash from Petty Cash Box. The cash is coming from Petty Cash Box. The corner street salesman is not registered for VAT, and we've paid 20 rands. Who wants to tell us? Nyasha, tell us, where does it go? Cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, or the petty cash journal?
I think the petty cash journals.
Because we have used money from the petty cash box, isn't it? So, and it's 20 rand. So on the petty cash journal, we're going to fill in all the details and put the amount there of 20 rands, and we bought newspaper for 20 rands, and we can call them newspapers. I know other people can argue that newspaper is stationary. If you believe newspaper is stationary, you are allowed to put it under the stationary column there. And if there was a column called newspapers here, we're going to put it inside the newspaper column. So on the cash receipts journal, one thing that I must tell you, this column called analysis of receipts. If we have received, if we have more than one transactions in one day, let's say on 1 January, we didn't just receive 100,000, we've received 100,000 and another amount. We're going to have that other amount here underneath that particular day, and we'll do a mini total here, and what goes to the bank will be the total of all amounts that we've received on that particular day, because the assumption is that all the monies that we receive, we'll put them on a cash register or wherever we put them, and then at the end of the day we'll go and deposit them in the bank and bank them. So we don't bank them one by one. You don't receive money now and run to the bank and bank it. You will bank the total of what you have received on that particular day. So that is trying to mimic the way in which we used to do things in the past. Neo Koza, I see you have your hand up.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, not you, the other Neo. Neo Kashane. Sorry about that. Neo Kashane.
Hi, sorry, it's a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I wanted. So, colleagues, the cash receipts journal, cash payment journal, petty cash journal, they are very, 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 very simple. It's just a matter of recording all the other things that we've discussed in the past, and putting them through on those columns that we're having accordingly, and make sure that we are done with all. And remember, these are cash transactions. We'll do credit transactions next week, Tuesday. Next week, Tuesday, we'll do the credit transactions. And these are very simple things where you just put in through what we've already done. I don't expect anyone to get confused here. Moving on to the assessment. The assessment is going to open on the 12th and I believe close on the 16th of September. The assessment covers from unit 1 to unit number 4. So meaning it is incremental. Whatever that we have done in the past, it's all examinable up until unit number 4. Unit number 4 is up until VAT. The cash receipts, cash payment journal, and PD cash. Then unit number 5, which will be the next. The assessment number 3 after this one. So everything that we've done up until VAT, which is unit number 4, it's examinable, and we should be comfortable with them, so that we can then pass this particular assessment. Just to recap, in unit number 1, unit number 1, it was mainly the introduction to accounting, the accounting questions, assets equals to owner's equity plus liability, and unit number 2 covered the general ledger accounts that we've continuously been doing, and what do we call? We also covered the trial balance, the statement of profit and loss, and other comprehensive income, and the statement of financial position. Even though those 2 or those 3, we are still going to repeat them later on in the modules accordingly. So more or less, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So we still have 25 minutes on our budgeted time. I want to open up those who are still having challenges in any of the things that we've done since the beginning up until now. Please raise up your hands so that we can hear which sections or which areas you still struggle with, so that we can assist you in the next 10 minutes or so. Let's see by the raise of hands. Oh, no hand. Even those who will say I'm totally lost, it means you are fine. You understand the T accounts, the general ledger accounts, you understand statement of profit and loss, you understand the trial balance, you understand fully VAT, and so on.
Hi, sir. I just have a general question.
Yes, please.
About getting clarity, absolute clarity on how to approach this problem. I'll read the question, and then it's the last specific part of the question that I just want clarity on. So a direct deposit of, let's say, 1,000 Rand was received from a client. This was incorrectly recorded as 1,200 Rand. So there's a 200 Rand difference in the business cash receipt journal. The error must still be corrected. Should we correct the error? Are they asking us to correct the error immediately, or should we just focus on the money received?
If they're saying it's already recorded, you must correct the error, because it would have been recorded but incorrectly recorded, meaning you must correct
No,
the error.
They are just stating the error must still be corrected.
Yes, it means you must correct it. You must correct it.
Which means we must do it. Okay.
Hey, that is not really a proper word that you've used. Remember, if there is an error, it must be corrected. And I've seen people who are good with mathematics, they will say, we have received 5,000 rands, but it was recorded as 7,000 rands, they will go and say 5,000 minus 7,000 minus 7,000 is 2,000. Then we must record 2,000 and stuff like that. Of which, yes, if you are a mathematician or you are good with numbers, it's correct. You can correct it that way. What I recommend people to do is that rather go and reverse whatever that has been recorded in a wrong way and go and record it properly. Then your things are going to balance easily without any problem. So if
Okay,
they say,
Mr. Maposa, I hear what you're saying. Would you mind showing us how to do that?
but that is still coming, not even on the next module, on the module after the next one.
Am I
Same, yes.
Okay. All right.
No, we're still going to do
All right,
bank reconciliations after
Okay,
not even
that's
next
fine,
week,
that's fine.
after next week. So
Okay,
let's
that's fine.
pack it for
Thanks.
then. I think that is the only difficult part of our module. But I believe if we look at it from a basic understanding point of view, we should be able to come up with it with ease. But it's still coming. It's still coming. So
Okay, good. Thanks.
yeah. So the assessment is coming, colleagues, and the assessment is. I think this is one of the very few that will be a little bit difficult. But remember, the assessment is not there to trick you. The assessment is there to assess how far and or how good are you in understanding the concepts that we have learned. It's just testing if you you are understanding those concepts, and we also ensure that there should someone who is mastering the concepts should get a distinction, but not 100%. And someone who does not understand should get 30, but not 0. So meaning we should all get between
Yeah.
30 and 99. I heard someone saying, say.
Yes, I just want to ask something here
Yes,
on
please.
that output.
Yes.
This transaction that has 500 rand, and then it's excluding VAT. So we have to say 500 multiplied by 15 divided by 100 is 75. I don't know if I'm mistaken because you record 750.
What transaction number is it? What transaction number is it?
Um,
Just look on the screen I have.
mm,
750 is for output VAT. I think it's for, is it for 750, 750?
transaction number 7. 7, yes.
Transaction number 7.
No. No. It's 500 transaction number 6. Yeah, number 6.
Transaction number 6.
Yes.
No, it's not 500. It's 5,000.
Oh, okay.
Remember here, they're just telling us that it's 500 per hour, but they also tell us that we have worked for 10 hours.
Okay.
So meaning the amount is 10 times 5, which is 5,000.
And the transaction number 7. It says including VAT, ne? And it says 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 115. On last class, ne, on Saturday classes, we were saying 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 115, and then it says 652,70. Now I don't know if I'm lost.
Number 7 is 2,000, not 5,000.
I mean, on the top
You mean
one here.
you mean 2000, not 5,000?
No, on the top one. On the top, not on this 2000.
Transaction number, what number? The same that we're talking about, number 6. No.
No. Yeah, it's
24th of January.
Mm-hmm.
20,
student bought their laundry.
Oh, the one of the laundry, that's transaction number 3, 5 January.
Yes.
Oh, so you're asking the difference between number 6 and number 3 is that number 3, the 5,000 includes VAT, and number 6, the 5,000 does not include VAT. So number 3, which says we have rendered this service for 5,000.
The one that you're on. TUT
Yes,
student
yes,
bought their laundry. Yes.
That's the one
Yes.
I'm talking about. That 5,000 rands here, it including VAT, meaning 5,000 already has VAT. So how are we going to calculate VAT? It's 5,000 multiplied by 15 divided by 115.
Divided by 1. Yes.
Yes, we'll
And
get
then it says 652.70 when we do it last week on Saturday.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's 652. The reason why we're saying times 15 divided by 115 is because this amount already includes VAT. That's why we're using 115. If it doesn't include VAT, we use 100 times 15 divided by 100.
Okay, sir.
Okay, no, thank you so much. If you are happy with that. Colleagues, any other questions before we close?
Yes, sir.
Yes, continue. I don't know who's talking. Continue.
It's Lissel.
Yes,
Sir, what if we have a question which says that maybe, let's say, for example, it says the cleaner was paid 500, and then the second transaction says a person from maybe gardening service was paid 200, and then you have a list. So, and then at the bottom, it's like a statement where they give you the totals, and then at the bottom they have the VAT for 15%. They have to calculate it, but it doesn't say that whether it's included or excluded. So how are we going to work that out?
But that list, what do you call that list that you're referring to?
Of services.
List of services.
Yes.
And they're saying they've paid that or they were charged that, because that can determine. Did you see it somewhere? Maybe refer so we can check quickly.
I'm actually referring to the content of the work that we have to go through.
Yes, just tell us what page number so that we can check.
I didn't write down the page numbers.
But if there is a list, it depends on what is the list called, unless if Nyasha know what is referring to. Nyasha?
No, sir, I have my own question.
Okay, let's finish with Lisaho first, then we'll jump to you. If the list is called where those transactions they're here. If the list is called what we have paid, where is the bank? Oh, the bank is on this. If the list is called what we have paid, it means whatever amount that we have paid would include VAT. So meaning we'll use the multiply by 15 divided by 115. But if the list is called what we have received or what we have, the services that we have rendered or items that we have bought, then that will be excluding VAT. We will still need to calculate VAT on that. Then we will take this amount multiplied by 15 divided by 100 to get the VAT amount. And if the list is called VAT input or VAT output or any of those, just remember that that is VAT only. So meaning we're going to multiply by 100 divided by 15 accordingly. Nyasha, you're saying you have your own question. And maybe when Nyasha is speaking, Lisacho, just try and check that list quickly. Maybe we might be able to see what exactly is it saying. Nyasha?
So my question goes back to the ones that we're doing. What happens, let's say in the assessments, we are faced or we are asked, I don't know what I must say. Okay, let's say there is a transaction that took place, but it was paid, it's on credit. And the ones that we're doing, those ones where we post it to the cash receipts journal, cash payment and petty cash, you said we do not post the credit ones there. So what do we do in that case?
There is something called sales journal, sales ledger, which we are still going to, sales journal, which we are still going to do in the next class. That's where you will record them, but we'll do them in the next class.
So for the assessment, we are safe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So the assessment, remember, is from unit 1 up until unit 4, which ends at VAT. Remember VAT that we have done last week and repeated this week. That's where it ends. The cash receipts, general cash payment, and what you're talking about, the sales journal, they're coming on assessment number 3.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for making time to come and attend our class, and all the best with the assessment. Let's all go and do. My wish is to get at least minimum of 5 distinctions.
Yes, I think I found it. It's quiz number 4.
Sorry?
It's quiz number 4.
Is it on the learning material?
Yes.
What page now? What you're learning unit number 4 or number 5? Should be number 5. It's about VAT. Should be number 4, ne?
Yes, it's number 4. I think so.
Let's look at it quickly. Page number?
It's a quiz, actually, where they actually want us to answer, put in our details, the answers that we think that are correct.
You mean on the on my UNISA?
Yes, on my UNISA.
When they're tricking us. No, I'm not allowed to. I'm not allowed to discuss it. That's why I was surprised. What are you talking about? I'm not allowed to discuss those with you. Unfortunately, you have to do them by yourself and figure it out. But all I can tell you in overall is that just check what is this list all about. If it's the list is for what we've already paid, it means, or what we've paid, or what we've received in total, it means it includes VAT. That's multiplied by 15 divided by 100. And if it's the list of those accounts, your income, your expenditure, your asset, what goes to those, that does not include VAT. 15 divided by 100, and the other one is 15 divided by 115. That is for you, for us to test if you understand these things, Baba.
Okay.
Not for me to tell you. Okay, now thank you so much, colleagues.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mr. Maposa.